Hi, this is Cecilia from Tarot by Cecilia, and this is your weekly tarot guidance for the week of January 25th through 31st of 2016. Let us start with Mercury goes direct on Monday, the 25th. Awesome. Absolutely awesome. You know, I have to tell you, just looking at the cards, it's like so obvious, all right? Now, you'll have to check and see where it is in your time zone. It will be at 4:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So just check and see where it is in your neck of the woods. But I have to tell you, yes, this was the most important retrograde of the year. I think it sets the tone. There will be 3 more. And I think I mentioned that in one of the dailies, but I just wanted to say that again, because here we are, finally really at the beginning of 2016. And what an adventure awaits us. It's absolutely amazing. This is a really, really good week, okay? So much is happening. You know, there is a more carefree feeling with Mercury retrograde being out of the way. Now, mind you, it's still in shadow. There's some things that you should, proceed with a little bit of caution. And we did just come off of a full moon, on the 23rd in Leo. So there's a little bit of releasing going on as well. So it's definitely an interesting week where you're going to feel like you've let some things go and you're ready for some new things. And yeah, it's a real overall good feeling, especially emotionally. There's a lot of positivity taking place here. And I like this a lot. There is change in the journey. It's still like where you're like, okay, I can kind of see it. And I see way off over there is something that I want. But it's ways to get to that part. I'm sorry. Indeed it is. However, this is a good week to look over your finances and see if you can begin to put some away. All right. Now that you have reworked that budget. And, there's this, it's almost like a tug of war is the best way I can explain it. All right. Like that, trying to take the journey, slowly day by day for the changes, but that urge to just go forward, maybe in a little bit of haste and in a little bit of a brash manner, because this is a time of being honest with yourself and what do you want. So, it's time to start going for it in all honesty. Patience has brought you this far. Patience with an incredible amount of strength. Now, what I have to say here is that, there is that feeling of the stress. The stress eases up. It's not that it's all done, but if you handle yourself properly, the stress should be alleviating itself, okay? If it's not, then you need to find someone to speak with because you're doing something wrong here. Now, for many of you, there is something legal which stands in the way of the happiness that you seek. All right? It's keeping things off balance. And it is that thing that you need to go forward with right now to figure out how to make it happen, how to make it work. Maybe for the last 4 weeks you've been a little bit, what am I going to do? Mercury's retrograde. I know better than to get involved in this because the outcome won't be the one that I seek. Now's the time. Get going this week. Get it moving. All right? It is up to you. So you can, control your changes. And this is a very good thing. There's a sense this week of finally moving on and heading out into 2016. Because the first 3.5 weeks of the month were spent looking at everything that happened before. And trying to determine how to move forward from it and lead a totally different life. Because let's face it, the one that you had that started crumbling back in 2012, it isn't there anymore. It's not something you can go back and fix. You have to move forward from it and create an entire new life. But the one that you're creating, you're going to like a whole lot better. So, sleep. Sleep is an issue for many of you. But you need some clarity here, all right? You know, it's like a struggle with reality. That could have been brought on by Mercury retrograde. It's entirely possible, okay, that you had some difficulties with that. And, you know, you're thinking now, it will be clearer. Keep that in mind. It will be clearer. Now, I also want to say there is this, you know, freedom of movement, like freedom to make choices now. I like this a lot. Now, you have to look at all your little issues, a little bit at a time, okay? If it's financial and you're working on that budget, you know, decide who gets what until everything is fixed. There's a lot taking place here. But with Mercury direct, I see you're going to have the mental clarity to really begin working on these things and really begin to move away from it all. This is wonderful. This is amazing. Everywhere I look here, I see clarity. I see opportunity, abundant opportunities, okay? And things coming your way that you didn't really see them coming, okay? For some of you, it involves your finances, and the delays around them are gone. So this is totally, totally amazing. Don't allow yourself to be deceived. Look at everything very clearly, okay? And don't deceive yourself with your beliefs either, all right? Because sometimes it is entirely possible to forget that you still live here on planet Earth. Some out there become too involved in the spiritual realm and forget how to do a day-to-day existence. You still know people who may not totally get the way you think, but they love you and they care about you and they need to hear from you. So there's a lot more communication going on. The communication is clearer. It conveys the thoughts of caring. There's a lot. Wow. I believe I just said all that. But the delays are going away. And it's time to get the year going, like the whole year. This is just, it's funny because people probably say this a lot, but this year it is meant. This is a totally different year. And now, this week, is when it really, truly begins. Keep that in mind. So, a lot of you are going to be working on the papers that need to be signed. Those papers that stand in your way. Those legal issues that need to be taken care of in order to return balance to your life. Absolutely amazing. Your changes will be creative ones. And, you know, I'm telling you, between now and June, the power of positive change that's coming into your life by walking away from the things that don't belong in your life anymore. Oh my goodness, yes. There's a lot of work involved here, but it's work that is like a breath of fresh air. Absolutely a breath of fresh air. I advise you to check everything out before going forward too quickly with anything, all right? Do your research, do your homework. Make sure that you have all of the facts, all of the details, and that you're, you know, doing things in a way that people will admire your progress. And I think indeed they will. So this is a week that's like, I think, a fateful week where it's time. It is time to get out there and do it and go forward and make the changes that are necessary. I'm telling you, the movement is rapid. Now, I'm going to put down more cards. And we're going to see what we have going on here. Oh my, oh my. See, you know, things that we've been eliminating. Oh, wow. It's coming. I'm telling you that by the month of March. Play February easy, okay? Play February easy and just keep working toward the future. Those doors are opening. They are absolutely opening. And, you know, they're also closing the doors on the pain. Don't let it get a foothold, all right? Stop going backward. Do not go backward. You're going to find this year. And for some of you, for a lot of you, even when I do private readings, I have to tell you that one of the things everybody asks me about love and this and that, I'm like, hold up, back up here a second. Because what I'm seeing for so many is that while you're in this period right now, it's time to get you together, okay? So that you can be the best you possible in a relationship And let me tell you something, you're going to feel wonderful. You take the time out to stop always trying to be in a relationship and just be you. Just be on your own. Enjoy who you are. And I'm telling you, that feeling of self-worth and self-reliance that's going to come in this year is going to bring more optimism into your life. And it's going to help you bury the past, which is what you really need to do before you can go forward. And I'm telling you, all these things that you're trying to do away with in order to change your life, March. We have 2 eclipses coming up. We have some other things coming up in March. It's a very, very changeable month on your timeline. I can't even begin to tell you. We're going to do some extra special recordings about these things, because it's just going to, I think, not throw everyone for a loop, but see, this is where it starts, is right here, right now, this week. And all this activity that's going on all of a sudden that you've been waiting when you came into 2016, it's going to take you forward till March, and you're going to be like, oh my goodness, I have so much to juggle, I have so much to do, and what comes next? Well, really, truly, people, you're going to have to wait for the dust to settle, because the changes are just going to keep rolling. It starts now. And like I said, February, you're kind of, second half of February, when Mercury leaves shadow, things are going to really start to heat up. And then it's going to go March, April, May, June. And yes, I'm banging on the counter because it's just boom, 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 boom. The changes keep coming. And there's some really huge changes around March. Could start as early as February. But when you see them happening, you're going to see the results of them. In other words, let's picture a path. You get on a road and you don't know where you're going. But this road looks good. It looks different than any road you've ever been on. So what happens? I think when you get to the very tail end of June, when you get past that solstice, there's something there that, and I'm getting the chills as I say it, that just looks totally different than anything that has ever happened to you before. And this may be something that you have waited for all of your life. And I think I should stop there, everyone, before I burn my breakfast. All right, I want to thank you very much for listening, and I'll see you here again next week. Have a great week, everyone.